Hello YouTube. The title of the video is probably giving it away. You know exactly what you're here for, what you're here to see. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to show you the car, we'll talk about it, and let's go and drive it.
Man, you gotta make an effort. Feel like all I do on earth is just say yes, sir. And when I tell people how they make me feel, they treat me like a leper. I put my headphones on.
So here it is. As you can tell, it's looking loads better. Unfortunately, it's got a bit of dust on it because we are out at the farm and it's pretty dusty, but I think it's still pretty obvious how much better this car is looking. So let's have a quick run through of what we've done. Headlights have had a restoration. Bumper's been fitted nicer. These wheels have been properly powder coated and they've got brand new centre caps, which are looking awesome. The whole car's had a really good machine polish. Some of that paint was looking pretty faded and scratched up. Brand new badges for the side. Hi. That just carries on around that way, really. Yeah, the whole thing's looking 100 times better. All the wheels looking great. It already had good tyres on it, Toyo Proxies. But yeah, she's looking good now. New badge on the front, that was missing before. If you haven't seen the previous video, I'll put a little clip in because you won't have any idea just how bad this car sounded. So we've rectified that. One of the mechanics at the garage, Stefan, you die! Has worked hours. The wrong turbo turned up, then another turbo turned up, and it was fouling. It just wouldn't work. The turbine wouldn't work. So we finally got there. We replaced our own turbine, innards, guts, whatever you call them for turbos. You car guys. I'm not really a car guy, to be honest. I'm like the non-car guy, core, center, spinny turbine bit for a turbo. It's got a new one of those, so it now sounds awesome, performs well. Inside, I guess not much has changed, other than it's had a valet, and then I've made it dirty again, but still, on the whole, it's looking loads better in here. It was pretty grubby and run down. And now we're getting to see this funky boost gauge on here. Well, first impressions of this car are all pretty good, really. The seats are really comfortable as well as looking really good. The steering wheel is nice and ergonomic. It's not my favourite steering wheel in the world, but it is pretty good. I don't really like any steering wheels that have got too many kind of sharp, it's not sharp, but hard edges where they've really tried to do some shaping to them. I prefer to keep it round and soft, really. Soft leather, a soft something to grip on. This is quite hard, and it's where they've really tried to shape it, it's got some kind of harsh edges. It doesn't really feel that comfortable in the hand. It drives very well. I mean, I've only really ever driven a couple of these Punto Evos in a Fiat form, and yeah, they drive really easy. This car having Bluetooth and cruise control, I could definitely drive this longer journeys, do motorway stuff. They're kind of the two prerequisites of a car that I want to drive really these days, which is pretty boring, but it's the truth. I want Bluetooth. I want to be able to connect my phone, listen to my music, or probably a podcast about business or something really boring. And I want to use cruise control because I got old man knees and I feel like I need to rest them. So I am absolutely the perfect person to be talking to you about this hot hatch. What else can I say? It's got aircon, it's got a good few cup holders. Again, I'm going to get picky about the cup holders. They're not in great places. You've got one behind you here and then one's in the door pocket. You're trying to reach in, you're kind of messing with the door pocket. But hey, I'm willing to allow it. The car makes up for it. It's it feels like a really good place to be. It feels like a special place to be, really. They make a bit of an effort with the black headlining and the stitching on the seats. Obviously the seats look amazing, nice steering wheel, little details like the Abarth on the gear knob, and you've got your funky little sports selector, which I have not touched yet actually, and I think I might struggle through some of these lanes down here. I'd be foolish. So I might get us back out on the main road in a second. It sounds good. It, especially on idle and the exhaust from the outside. You know, with a lot of cars, you get a really good sound from the outside, but when you're inside, it's slightly more disappointing. This, I haven't put it in sport mode yet and really given it full chat, but it sounds great from the outside. It's really got like a nice little turbo burble. From the inside, so far, hard to tell. The main thing I can hear, irritatingly, is there's a wheel bearing going. That's just the way it goes with cars, I guess. You fix one thing, you sort out the engine issues with the turbo and everything, so that's all working fine, and take it out for a test drive and there's something else. The brakes are warped, or in this case, there's a wheel bearing going. So luckily it's a pretty straightforward job. We'll get that sorted. I may try and cut here until I can get on the road and give it some beans. Bear with me. Okay, so coming back up to the main road, let's put sport mode on. I don't have any idea what difference that makes, but just get our foot down and find out, I guess. Of course, there's loads of traffic. Might be able to get out here. I'll leave it a bit of a minute so we got... Okay. Traction control light going crazy. Alright. So as you probably hear, noise isn't crazy. We're not getting loads and loads of noise other than the wheel bearing, which you may or may not be able to hear. But it definitely feels sprightly. For a 1.4 turbo, it's no slouch. It's definitely picking up, and it feels fun. You know, it's kind of, as with a lot of these hot hatches, small engine, front wheel drive. Is it all about going fast, or is it about being fun? I've always said the same with motorbikes. Excuse the tray plate sliding around. Let's get that sorted. As with motorbikes, which I love, probably you would say is a higher passion for me than it's surprisingly good actually. I was expecting it to be nippy, you know, for a little 1.4, but it's really not bad at all, and it feels quick, you know. You can feel the kind of the torque and the boost spike, I guess. What was I saying before? Like with motorbikes, as with cars, I tend to find like I would rather have a slightly slower car that handles well or feels fun, feels exciting, than something that's incredibly fast and you can never really, in good conscience, at least in my part, enjoy it on the roads. You know, if I was to try and drive something like a C63 like we've got in stock at the moment, and you want to really make the most of it and experience it, if you're not doing it on the track and you're putting your foot down, you're just being a reckless idiot. I mean, a lot of people do that, sure, but I wouldn't want to. You know, I feel like you put your foot down and you squirt the power on, all of a sudden you're doing 60, 70, whatever it is, and you probably want to back off a little bit because you don't want to be doing, you know, 100 through a town centre or something. It's got the performance, but can you really use it? Whereas something like a little hot hatch, maybe why I love them so much, is you really can wring its neck and feel like you are driving. You know, the car's going well because you've got some skill. Of course you have. You're the best driver in the world. In your Abarth Punto Evo. Oh God. Nearly killed someone. And that's why you don't fly around in your C63. You will kill someone. Anyway, in conclusion, what are my thoughts on the Abarth Punto Evo? I love it. I think it's a great car. I think it's really cool the fact that it's was it rare? I mean, it's fairly rare. I don't think there are a huge amount of these. It's something a bit different, isn't it? It's maybe a little bit more, I don't know if grown up's the right word, but it feels like the big brother of an Abarth 500, for example. It feels a little bit more spacious, and yeah, I don't know what the word is, but yeah, I really like it. I think for me it would tick a lot of the boxes. It's, again, hatchbacks are practical. I've got a dog, it can go in the boot. It's got cruise control, so I can drive it comfortably on the motorway. It's got Bluetooth, so I can bore myself to death with podcasts. So yeah, it's a thumbs up from me. This one, of course, is up for sale. I'm hoping by the time this video is out, it's sold. If not, call me. Let's talk. Dirty bastard.